everyone, my name is Tegan and I am the Graduate Assistant for the Office of Undergraduate Research and Scholarship, and you are here for our Anchoring Research session, How to Construct a Research Poster for Monday, March 14th. Before we get started on that, I'm just going to give a brief informational session on the R's office and different services we offer. So what is Anchoring Research? This is our workshop series to help students who are interested in research or currently conducting research. We have sessions available for all levels of researchers, whether you are new to research or you have a few semesters of research experience. This is our schedule for the winter semester. If you scan that QR code, it will take you to the page to sign up for the sessions. We are currently on how to construct a research poster. So upcoming, we have fellowships, and we also have highlighting your research achievements. A little bit about the Office of Undergraduate Research and Scholarship. We offer different services and programs for students to explore their interests and passions related to research and other scholarly activities. We can help connect you to faculty and different research opportunities on campus. One of those ways is through Undergraduate Research Fair, which is held every fall in October. Faculty will come set up tables and talk about what they're currently researching on. And as a student, you can walk around and listen to the different faculty's research projects and kind of see what you're interested in. And then Student Scholars Day is coming up this year, April 13th. And if you're attending this session, this is a great opportunity to learn about constructing a research program if you're presenting on Student Scholars Day. That is a really great opportunity to walk around and see what your peers are working on, and then also present yourself if you are currently working on research. The Hours Office also provides different funding assistance for research, and we can also offer travel grants to go to different conferences and present. And then I just want to point out that the Hours Office is now underneath the Center for Undergraduate Scholar Engagement, along with the Frederick Meyer Office of Fellowships. So those two long-standing offices are now underneath the one Center for Undergraduate Scholar Engagement. This allows us to provide more resources and programming for both students and faculty. So it's a really great partnership. And then this is some information if you'd like to connect with us. I have our email right here and the website. I highly recommend following our Instagram or our Twitter or our Facebook. We're always posting a lot of different resources for both students and faculty, different research opportunities on campus as well as off campus. We really try to keep that as up to date as possible with different opportunities and resources for you. So with that, I will go ahead and move on to our session about constructing research posters. So I'm going to talk about two different poster styles. The first style is going to be a traditional research poster style. And in that style, you're going to include an introduction, background, hypothesis, maybe, your methods, results, conclusions. You're going to have references section and acknowledgments if you need them. So this really just follows a traditional research paper style. These are all the things you would include in a research paper, and just condensed versions, which I'll talk about in considerations. But this is going to be the main format for your poster. And I will show you some examples in just a second. And then some considerations for when you're making your poster is to make sure the text is readable and concise. You want to make sure when someone's looking at your poster, it's really easy to read. You don't want to use colors that people with vision impairments could have trouble reading, for example, color blindness. So you really want to take that into consideration to make sure it's very readable. You also don't want to put your whole paper on your research program. So you really want to condense it down to explain your most important information, which brings me to my second point, to focus on the main finding of your research. You'll include title, all of that information, but it really helps people when they are walking around at looking at a lot of different posters. If you focus on your main finding, they might be more likely to remember that one main finding versus a lot of different points. And you can use colors and text to emphasize different points. I know I said to be careful about use of colors, but you could also italicize things, use bold, and just to lay it out in a way that you emphasize the most important parts. And you also, when you are laying out your poster, you want to make sure it flows in a readable way. So you start with your introduction/background, and then you move on to methods, results, and conclusions. So it kind of flows in the way that a paper does. So this is a traditional poster style template. This is free online. Grand Valley also has a poster template available, and I will show you an example using that in just a second. But this one's available at this website, and I will list all of the places I got things from at the very end if you want to look at all the different references. But this is a traditional poster style. I know this one isn't very flashy, but it's kind of the bare bones of what a traditional research poster would be. So you have your title and your name and university here. And then this kind of reads from left to right and up and down. So we'd start with introduction. You want to keep it as brief as possible. And then methods, again, want to keep that really concise. That way it's easy for people to read as they're walking by. If you're standing next to your poster and someone else wants to look at your poster, they can easily digest that information by just quickly reading through. And then it has the results here in the middle as a bigger box. This is often nice to put one or two larger graphics here to illustrate your main finding. And also you can include a little annotation about what the graph is. If you're not standing next to your poster, it's nice to have that for someone to understand what's going on in that graph, because you've been working on this research for a really long time and you know all the ins and outs. But for someone who's just walking by and looking at a lot of posters, it helps to focus on the main points. And then conclusions over here, and then information. We often need literature cited, acknowledgments if you have any, and a further information spot. This is cool, that I've seen a lot of different posters, especially recently with the rise of QR codes, is putting a QR code in the bottom right corner or somewhere on your poster presentation that then takes the person to, maybe you have a personal website where you have more information about your research results. Maybe it takes them to a YouTube video of you explaining your poster. So for, say, your poster is going to be up all day long, but you're only planning on standing by it for an hour or two. It's cool to have a little QR code there where they could go to a video if they want to learn more about your poster, and you could explain some of the more intricate details of your poster. But those are going to be our main sections, often in boxes like this to separate things off and kind of signify where different things are. If people want to just read the results and they're like, oh, I wonder how they got that, then they can easily hop to methods. So yeah, that is the traditional poster style template. And again, this template is free online and you could change it to make it more you as well. This is an example of a traditional poster style I recently made. Again, background here in left corner. We have title and bold at the top with my name and my program, as well as Grand Valley State. And then we have background. And then mine's a little different because this is was a literature review, not necessarily a research project. So I just have my recommendations based on the literature I read. And I have a graph that I explained in my presentation. I had a little contact information here at the bottom, as we saw in the other poster template, and a references section. The specific poster template is available through the Grand Valley website if you would like to use it. It's a nice color scheme to go along with Grand Valley, so that is an option as well. And then here's another example of a different poster I made. This one doesn't follow the same format, but I just wanted you to have one more example of references and just like a different style. Alrighty, moving on to the second type of poster that I talked about is going to be the better poster method. And this method was created by Mike Morrison relatively recently. And it has 4 different styles of posters, which are original, presenter, figure hero, and data art. If you would like any of these templates, they are available at that website in the left-hand corner. Again, I'll have all of my information at the end in a references slide if you want to look anything up or use any templates. On the right here, this is an example of a better poster I did. It was kind of a mix of a better poster and a traditional research poster because I still wanted to have a lot of information on it. But as you can see here, the information is more condensed. I have a really big figure and my methods, results, references, background. It kind of flows in a readable way with my main point in the middle. And if you want to pause or come back to this later, you're welcome to look at it. But I'll go into the templates. This is the Better Poster Method original poster, which is kind of the one my poster was based off of. Title over here, bold, and a little background, little methods. And then your main finding goes in the middle here to really emphasize it. And you could put a large graph to emphasize your finding as well. The goal behind these posters is that when you're walking through a poster session as not as the presenter, but as just if you're a student walking around, all the words on posters can often deter someone from reading through everything and getting to your main finding of your research. So we can emphasize this main finding in the middle here by a big graphic or text. That way, when someone sees your poster and they can, see that result right away. And if they want to learn more, then they can go over to the sides here and find out more information about your research study. But if they don't want to learn more information, they at least got the main finding of your research out of your poster. And again, QR codes have become really popular if you want to use it to have your paper connected to it, or if you have a personal website where you keep your research up to date, things like that. And so now we'll talk about the presenter better poster style. This one works really well if you are going to be standing next to your poster. It's not the best if it's going to be up all day and people need to walk by and look at it, but it is a really cool way to present if you're going to be standing by your poster. So over here we have the main takeaway of your research findings and then methods illustrated in pictures. So this is really cool for something like this example is like immunology, where it's really interesting to be able to see a picture of what's happening and help someone understand. And it works especially well if you are standing next to your poster and can point to these different things and explain how your methods worked. If you aren't standing by your poster and you just have an image like this, someone would probably have to be in immunology to understand what's going on. So this really works best if you're standing next to your poster, but it can be a really cool way to illustrate your methodology or your results. Graphs are a great visual way of drawing people in and showing them your main finding, especially when you're standing here. You can explain what these different bars mean, or you can explain what the graph means, but it really helps to draw people's attention and is really eye-catching. And again, a QR code if you want to do that. It's really popular. And then the better poster method of figure hero. I think this one is a really cool poster template. Again, like I said, all these templates are available at this website down here. But the left side over here, you could make it the right side as well. you have a lot of freedom when creating your research poster. But they have the background, the methods that they used, any extra results. So say you want to put your main finding of your research here, but you do have some side results as well, like some other things that were interesting that you found out through your research process. And so you can add those over here, and then you have one big graph here in the middle, or maybe you have two graphs. That would be okay too. But it really just draws the attention to this graph, and you can point out something really cool about your research or point out your main finding, and it helps people who are just walking through and trying to digest a lot of different posters. It helps them learn something about your research. And then the data art example, this is also a template, but this specifically was a research poster that got a lot of attention when it first came out. So we see the main title here, Average Global Temperature from 1850 to 2018. And these different colored bars represent those temperatures. And so we can see as of recent, it's been getting a lot warmer. And so this was just a really cool way to illustrate this research through data art, and it was really eye-catching, and would also work well if you are standing next to your research poster and then can explain more about your research methods. The option of including a QR code to lead to more information is also a great idea if you want to use data art. And so these are all the references, and for the resources, I wanted to show you all the Better Poster templates are available at this website. If you want to watch some YouTube videos about the Better Poster method by Mike Morrison, you can go to his YouTube here. There are a few videos that talk about why the Better Poster method may be a better way to draw the attention of people who are walking by at a research conference, and also distill your information in a really concise way that people will remember what your research finding was versus a lot of your methods and things like that. This NYU guide to creating a research poster had a lot of helpful tips. Creating a traditional research poster, if you want to visit that one, and then guide to creating a poster for research conferences. That's going to be this link here, and that's where I got that template for the traditional research poster. You will likely see a lot of traditional research posters, and they're a great research poster, but I also wanted to show you the Better Poster to give you an idea of all the different options you can do. So I really hope you enjoyed this session. If you'd like any further information, you will receive my contact information as well as a Calendly link if you'd like to set up an appointment with me, or if you'd just like to contact the R's office for more information about research and things like that, I would be happy to talk to you. Thanks so much.